So, we are in front of the town hall in Memmingen, and this is the newly elected mayor of Memmingen, Jan Rothenbacher. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We spent now 4 days here as part of the Social Division's Questions of Identity program of ISAGS. We've been last year in Glendale, your partner city. So my first my first question for you is, what's your role and what's your vision as mayor of Memmingen?
I think my role mainly, so in traditional German administration, we've got this duality of being political lead, but also being head of the public administration in both ways. So I'd say my main objective is to be someone setting new initiatives, setting new goals about how we want to be and how we could get there, and getting a broad view about what could Memmingen be like, and setting priorities like we discussed beforehand in the discussion about sustainability, about modernization, but also about fiscal responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And you have a broad experience already in administration through your studies, what you have done. And where do you think, as head of the administration, where do you think you want to start first? You've mentioned sustainability, digitalization. What do you think, where you're going to go?
So I think the most important and pressing matter in Memmingen is especially a cultural topic about thinking how do we want to be and how do we see ourselves in the role with the people, with the electorate, and getting to a more people-friendly, civic-friendly approach, getting a little bit away from our dominant approach toward security. Not exactly security in a police way, but more security in we don't, as of right now, we wanted to reduce critique, we wanted to reduce, Lärmbeschwerden.
Complaints about noise.
We wanted just have as few complaints as any possible, which led to a rapid decline of cultural life and many other comparable things. And we want to turn it around. We want to be like a more people-friendly, a more life-friendly approach. And I think that would also help us in the public service, because we tend to have a lot of discussions, a lot of approaches by people wanting to do anything, like whether they want to build a house, host an event, or do anything. And if we just decline them, they tend to come again, because they have a need to. And we need to respect that need a little bit more. We can't allow everything, because there are rules, there are things we need to be compliant about, but we need to get more in a cooperative approach about how do we get on a common ground, where do we meet each other, fulfilling the need of the people, but also being compliant with our own rules.
And the last question. We have been part of this program because we have been to Glendale in Arizona, your partner city there. And now we are in Memmingen. We are a German-American group. Cities and local governments have an important role nowadays. We talk about urban diplomacy, that you also want to sit at the table when it's about climate protection and issues like that, migration. Where do you think you will talk about international relations in 6 years? What would you like to achieve from a perspective of Memmingen?
I think it would be great to amplify our plentitude of partner cities and partnerships on a more practical approach. We've got a lot of connections, we like each other, we have this cultural exchange, which is really great, but I think we could also learn a lot from each other about dealing with challenges, how to get along in this more and more international and complicated world, and have this practical approach where we see how do you deal with problems, how do we deal with problems, where do we may differ, but where would there be approaches that we say, hey, that's something we could do well together, and just deepen our relationships as cities, which tend to be less politically focused discussion like we have on federal levels, but a more practical, centralized discussion.
Thank you, Mayor Rothenbacher, and I hope many of the colleagues you have met when you were in Washington will see that video too. Thank you for spending the time with us, and I'm sure we're all going to come back here to Memmingen, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward. Would be glad to meet you in Washington sometime in the future.
Okay, you heard it, guys. Invite him. Thank you.
You're welcome.